Malawi Brief.
Pamene kafukufuku wa ngozi ya ndege yomwe inachitika ku Chikangawa akupitirira, mkati mwa mafunso munabwera nkhani yokhuzana ndalama ya chipepeso imene imapita ku maliro a malemu Ralph Kasambala. Pamenepa ndi pamene anthu amafuna kudziwa kuti ndalamayi inachokera kuti kwenikweni komanso anayilandira ndi ndani, ndipo zinaululika kuti ndalamayi inachokera ku State House kapena kuti ku nyumba yachifumu, ndipo amene anayilandira ndalamayi waululidwanso. A Eric Yesaya amene ndi mlembi mu ofesi ya wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko lino ndi amene akuyankha mafunsowa.
And the third issue that has been raised is on the memo. Did I see any memo? Did I see any documentation regarding this trip? Honorable Chairperson and honorable committee members, I did not see any memo regarding the trip to Mzuzu. What I saw and is available is the quotation from the Malawi Defense Force and the manifest. That was what I saw. But for the memorandum to His Excellency the President, that one, no, I did not see it. And the other one, on documentation regarding the logistics for Madam Mary Chirima, on that one, I did not see any documentation because that time, as I said, I was in South Africa. What I did was to make a WhatsApp call to the Undersecretary, Mr. Alfred Nkoma, to do the logistics. I did not even write, I just called, informing him that he should do refuel the vehicles and make necessary arrangements at the Zuzu Hotel so that at least when she will be returning from Katape, she can spend the night at the Zuzu Hotel and return back to Lilongwe on the 11th of June 2024. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
Would you also be able to share with us the manifest that you have on file?
Honorable Chairperson, that will be provided. I also submit together with this one today. Yeah. Thank you.
Any follow-up questions? Mwanza Central, then we come back to Dezemayani and Zomba Tondwe.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Isaiah, you were en route to Malawi the time the plane announcement, the announcement that the plane is missing was made. I just want to find out from you if your memory can recall at what time or when did you hear about the death of the late Dr. Saulos Chirima? That's my first question. My second question is, when the PS communicated to you or told you that the VP was going to attend burial, and you were told, he was told to arrange to charter a plane, you were hesitant on the time that you were told. Do you recall what time exactly were you told about that? And under normal circumstances, how long does it take to process procurement of service of chartered plane from MDF? Chair, I'll have follow-up questions, but for now, let me stop there.
That's Mayana.
Thank you very much, Chair. The PS, Mr. PS, I just wanted to know if you can highlight a few examples where you chartered the plane and under what circumstances. And according to your submission, you say there has always been a memo between the Office of the PS and the Office of the President. If at all, in any of such occasions, if you can give us 2 or 3, which you may remember, if at all in one of those occasions, maybe you did not have all the documentation, such as the memo. I'm asking that question because I'm understanding the challenge that we are having in the current times, where people sometimes start to use phones, WhatsApp and all any other means, emails and all that, other means of communication for urgent or other important matters, which in principle is a departure from the stipulated way of communicating officially in the government of Malawi. But we have to understand such communications are being done on important matters. So I just wanted to know if you may recall an occasion where you had to charter the plane, but you did not have a complete documentation, but the trip actually took place. Thank you very much, Chair.
Mulanje.
Just a supplementary on the issue of record keeping. Would you advise in the office who is charged with custody of documents? You've referred to a number of documents, memos, quotations, and the like. So, in your office, who is in charge of the custody of these important documents? Thank you.
Sombatonda.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, through you, I would just like to request Mr. Isaiah to confirm if the chartering of the military aircraft cannot be done without the knowledge of the Commander-in-Chief. That's number one, just to confirm. Number two, I wanted to confirm with him, through you, Chair, if previously there have been cases where chartering of planes has been done verbally or under instructions from maybe the Commander-in-Chief or the VP himself, without any written documentation, which somehow links with the Zamayani. I submit, Chair.
Somba, City South.
Thank you so much, Chair. Mine is relating to the procedure of procuring the services of the flight. If I recall what you have said, Mr. Isaiah, you said the requesting office originates a memo to the President for authority. After that, when the authority is granted, the office writes MDF requesting for the flight, and then MDF will send you a quote. After the quote, it means you now pay. I'm reading the Commission of Inquiry report on page 19, and it's written there that you told the Commission of Inquiry then that this practice had changed. Please confirm if you mentioned this to the Commission of Inquiry. Chair, I submit.
Mr. Isaiah, you have a lot on your table, a lot of questions. Can you take those questions?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Committee members. I will start with the question. Now, when did I hear the death and at what time? As I already indicated in my submission, I said that I heard about the death of late Vice President, or the missing plane of late Vice President when we arrived at Chireka International Airport. In that plane, I was traveling, there was also Mr. Moses Ntakuma, And Mr. Moses Takoma came to me and said, can you open your phone if it's off? Then I said, why? Then he started crying there, just open. So whilst I was doing that, you know, he drew an attention of a lot of people there in the plane. Then after a few minutes, Captain Mazi was the one who was in charge of that flight. He came from the cockpit and he came to me and told me, have you heard anything about the vice president? I said, no, I'm just hearing it from you. I said, no, but tell your friend he should stop crying because it's so disturbing me. This is the news that I've just received when I was touching down here. So that's the time that I heard about that. Then I opened my phone. Then there were all sorts of information coming from that end, anyway, from the social media and the like. But I had no strength to go further because I was shocked at that particular time. And the other question that I've been asked is, at what time did I hear that he was traveling to, he has changed and will be traveling to Nkata Bay? The communication I received from the principal secretary was in the evening of the 9th, around 6. That's when I received communication from him that the vice president would like to travel to Nkata Bay by a chartered plane. And the other question is the procurement of chartered. How long does it take? Well, as I've already said, when there's an event and there's that intention of, or there was that intention of hiring a plane, we would normally deploy a memo to the president. And it's him or the principal who signs for that memo. So we wait, we don't proceed, we wait up until that memo has been authorized. That's when we start. So it can take a day, 2 or so. But sometimes he would remind the principal because of, he would remind the president that he has deployed that one and he wanted an answer on that, on the memo that has been deployed. But we would proceed once we get an authorization from the head of state. I've also been asked about examples when VP memos, those memos are there. And I'll give you an example. We had hired the aircraft to convey him to Karonga at one time. We have hired the MDS to convey him to Mangochi, and those memos are there. And we will provide if necessary, including all the written correspondence that we have been having with our colleagues from the Malawi Defense Force. So I've also been asked who is in charge of those specific documents. These documents are confidential, and mostly it's the secretary to the vice president who keeps them. They don't go to the registry. They are kept by the secretary to the vice president in his office. All document, the memos, including the quotations, of course, that's the one which can go to the accounts. But those memos, requests, they're kept by the secretary to the vice president. And the other question was to confirm whether the commander-in-chief is aware that the plane is being chartered by, or is going to be used by the vice president. Our office cannot charter a plane from Malawi Defense Force without the knowledge of the commander-in-chief himself. So, as I said, the first thing is to inform the commander-in-chief that the principal, or that the principal would like to use the plane. Once he authorizes, that's when we do now the office work ourselves and the commander. And that, to my knowledge, I don't think that has been done verbally. since I assumed my office in that office of the Vice President. It hasn't been done verbally, not to my knowledge. And the last one is the procedure for procuring the flight. And in that commission of inquiry, they said the practice had changed. Well, anyway, we were not furnished, and with the information they did not verify. But to say that the practice changed, no, this is the practice that we have been using. Because at the commission of inquiry, we don't know, because they were supposed to check facts with us as well, much as it was. But I didn't even know the report that it was indicating that. Otherwise, I could have gone there and tell them that, no, this is the practice that we have been following. Thank you, Chair.
Supplementary, Chair.
You may proceed with a supplementary.
Mr. Isaiah, in other words, you are telling this committee that what is written in the Commission of Inquiry report under your name, where you said to the Commission that the practice has changed, is not true. You know, you didn't say that. Can you confirm?
Honorable Chipepeso and honorable committee members, I can't remember having said that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Another follow-up. You have also mentioned some memos, and you have referred to a memo to Karonga, a memo to Mangochi. These were also mentioned in the report, but they said there's no proof. At that point, there was no proof of the memos. You have just told the chairperson that you can bring that proof to his committee. Can you confirm?
Yes, I can confirm on that one. I've got those memos.
Thank you.
Chair, my question was not responded.
Okay,
One of the questions.
Central.
Yeah, one question was not. I think I should ask again, because I asked about the death, not the incident, not the missing of the plane, but the death. When did you hear about the death? First time. But also, Chair, I wanted to ask if you can give me just 1 minute. I want to ask 3 questions that are, the other questions will be like follow-up questions, depending on how he responds, if that is allowed.
You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so first question is about the death. When did you hear about the death of SKC?
Sorry, you can
But that one you can respond it later. But these are the questions, the ones that I want you to respond. Yeah. You have been with the Vice President. I think you were with the Vice President for so long. Did you attend funerals with him? Did he attend funerals? And you were you were part of the entourage?
Thank you very much, Chairperson and honorable committee members. Yes, the Vice President has been attending funerals, and I was part of the entourage that accompanied him in those.
Thank you very much. Was at any funerals that you attended that he was delegated by the President?
Yeah, there are certain funerals, but I can't recall which ones because we have been traveling many, and it's quite a while.
Thank you very much. I just want to know the practice. Was the condolence money given to him in cash? At any of the funerals you attended?
Honorable Chairperson and honorable committee members, since we have been attending these funerals, there has never been a time that the late Vice President took condolences from the head of state. Normally, if he has been delegated to attend that funeral, the special advisors from the head of state also attend and are the ones who are given that condolences.
Thank you very much. Are you aware of any condolence money that came from the president for this particular funeral of the late Ralph Kasambala?
Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Committee members, I was told that on the 10th of on the 10th of June, when he was leaving, there was a condolence that was given, and it was. I'm told that it was about 5 million, but nobody saw the amount of money, including the one who received the money. I understand it didn't open and check the money, but it was 5 million. That was the figure that I was told. Thank you.
Last question. So in your, the way you've responded, this was the first time for the head of state to give condolence money to the vice president in cash.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, that was the first time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair.
Nchewu Nzozimvai, and then in Kadabe North, and we'll come to Desakasino.
Thank you so much, Chair, for giving this chance, the people of Nchewu Nzozimvai constituency, to ask a question to Mr. Eliki Isaiah from the Office of the Vice President of the Republic of Malawi. Good morning, Mr. Isaiah. Let me take this opportunity to say thank you so much for all you have shared with this committee. I have two questions. I need your explanation. According to your explanation, you told this committee that on the 8th June 2024, the former Vice President told you that he's going to attend the funeral of the late Kasambala in Kadabe. I would like to know if the former Vice President told you the list or number of people he planned to be part and parcel of this trip, of his trip. Secondly, I would also like to appreciate how was the passenger list developed in the Office of the Vice President in terms of traveling in and outside the country. Thank you.
Kadabe North.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the. I've got one question to Mr. Isaiah. I understand that you have been with the Vice President for so long, right? Therefore, did you, as a person, after the death of the late Vice President, did you do any research as to why the arrangement changed at the last time of him going to the funeral? Any arrangement which was done at last time, last minute, which you was being told that the president has changed, instead of going his wife, and then he decided to go by himself. So as a person who you was been working with him for quite a long time, have you ever done any research? Why did this happen? Thank you.
Desakasino.
Thanks so much, Chair. Good morning, PS. Mine are just follow-up questions from what my brother from Mwaza Center asked. In your response, you said the guy, you used the word, if I quote right, the guy who received it didn't even open the envelope, just submitted, I think, to the Vice President. Now, can you help this committee to towards this guy, the name of this guy, which guy, who received the money? Because you didn't mention the name. And the Mother Center was asking the money, the previous arrangements, was it coming from the president? So he said no. So I don't understand this money. Does it come really from the president or office of president and cabinet? And the type of a funeral, the state funeral or the other, the different type of funerals, I think, which the vice presidency can attend under delegations or as a vice president. The state's funeral or the former cabinet ministers, where does the condolence money come from? From the president where he will send the special advisors or of the office of the president cabinet. Like this 5 million, where did it come from? The last one, I think I'll not come in because Cheo Mvai has asked about the manifesto of the people who were supposed to be in that flight. So unless you don't tackle it right, I might come in, but I submit, Chair.
Mr. Isai, you may proceed to answer.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Committee members. I will start with you say on 10th June, on 8th June? Yeah, let me explain that. On 8th June, the conversation that I had with the late Vice President was he informed me about the funeral of late Raf Kasambala, and he told me that he would have loved to go and attend the burial ceremony. But since His Excellency, the former State President, was traveling to Bahamas, he was not going to attend that burial ceremony. Instead, he was going to see off the President off to Bahamas. He did not indicate that he was going. He said he would have loved to go and attend the burial ceremony. And I've used the word, that's what he said. I would have loved to go and attend the burial ceremony of late Raf Kasambala. However, since His Excellency is traveling, I have to see him off there. I'll just send Madam Mary Chilima to represent me and do the logistics for her to travel to Kadabe. That's what he said. On the list of people, that one, it was prepared, that was on, I think Sunday, if not Monday. I was just told that the list, there were just two, then there was the first one, then there was the second one. So that one I will furnish the committee, the manifest, because I was also provided, that was on, was it Tuesday? That's when it's the full list after the tragic incident. And the other issue is, I've been asked, did you conduct research or what? On an incident, as a human being, you also need to find out why has this happened. And for me, still up to until today, I still have questions. Who contacted him that he should go to attend the funeral? That one I'm also blank. And we were told that the flight or the MDF plane was had by the family, and it was not available. It was in Zuzu, and the one who said, no, the plane is there, and we don't know. For me, I don't know. I'm also blank on that one, but I had questions, and some of the stories just coming, but I cannot, maybe I would say those stories that were coming, no, it's because of he received a phone call from this gentleman that it was a must that he should go and attend. Then I said, no, but procedurally, we're supposed to follow the procedures for hiring the plane. And for me, he told me that he was not going to attend. So on that one, I also have a lot of questions and unanswered as well. And I was asked about the one who received the money. It was the personal secretary, Irene Gangire. That's the one who received the money in the morning. That's the one who received the money, the envelope. And she said it has come from State House, not OPC. That's what I was told that time. I think those are the questions. Thank you.
I'll allow more questions. We're about to wind up, so I'll give members one more question. Yes, go on.
I don't know. My point of order is that's the other question, Chair, I wasn't responding. My last question connected to the condolences as to what has been the procedure before, the differences of state funeral, whether it's a former cabinet minister, if the vice president is an attendance, has gone to attend, as Mwaza Sento asked, that he has gone before in other funerals, and the money will be given directly by special advisors. So I was saying these monies were personally from the president or office of president and cabinet, because it's a former cabinet minister. These monies were coming from direct from the president as a person or of the office. That one was not tackled, Chair. So
can you respond that before I allow the last questions?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Committee members. Normally, the monies for condolence, I would say, in our case, they were coming from the office of the Vice President. If he has been delegated to attend a funeral, the Vice President will condole, and there would also be monies from State House and announced at the funeral. On state funerals and the like, it's expected that monies should come from office of the President and Cabinet. I hope.
Point of order, Chair. There's still that question that has not been responded to.
What was your question again?
I wanted to know at what time or when was Mr. Isaiah informed about the death of the latest Casey.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Well, I was informed of the incidents on what? On 9th? On the 10th. On the 10th, in the afternoon, around 2 at Chireka. That was the incident. And I came back to Lilongwe. And from the airport, I went straight to the office. I didn't go back home. I went straight to the office. From the office there, I met the principal secretary. And then we left the office, and I went to the house of the late Vice President. We stayed there for quite some time. At that particular time, like anybody else, we were just waiting to hear the news. And we were hoping that maybe with the rescue team, they will be found alive. So we waited there on that day up until we went to sleep. Until in the morning when we received official communication that the bodies have been found lifeless. Yeah. Thank you.
No, but she has to answer. You received official communication. How did you get to know?
It's through the TVs and the radios, because it's like we're just glued to the TVs and hearing information, but not official from like OPC or no, on that one, no.
That's all, Chair, from me.
Can he confirm the dates on the hearing that the plane is missing and the date about the announcement of the death? Just confirm the dates.
Yeah, the announcement of the death, that was on the 11th? But on the 10th, that's when they were doing that rescue mission. So on the 11th, that's when we were told formally.
So, Batondo?
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, just to ask him in his line of duty, because we are told that this was the first time you experienced the State House giving condolences through the Vice President. This was your first time, you confirm?
Yes, I confirm.
And number two, you also have told this committee that this was your first time to learn that a plane can be chartered by the VP without paperwork, which you have never seen in your office. Chair, these are strange things in my view, and I would expect in your line of duty to have made some follow-ups within your line of duty, not your personal opinion. And I would love to check if at all he has attempted officially to try and get answers to these two, because as he has said, this was the first time he has come across this strange arrangement. I submit, Chair.
Planta Malabara?
Thank you very much, Chair. I've got 3 questions. Mr. Isaiah, you said that your office would be responsible as an advance team. Was that advance team ever in liaison with security agencies to ensure that when the Vice President occupied a vicinity, that vicinity was secure? Number two, you were very close with the Vice President, the late, you mentioned. Would you be aware of any friends he had in the MDF? Number three, since you would procure the services of the military aircraft, had your office ever made the attempt to ensure that the aircrafts were safe for travel for the Vice President? Thank you.
You may respond.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Committee members. The first one is, did I do or check? Since everything I said is like the first time. And did I check and verify why this happened? I tried to check, and there was no proper answer that I got, because I had to check with the Principal Secretary why this has happened and who called him to travel to Nkata Bay. But that one, it's still blank.